So I asked Professor Markovits to take a couple more minutes of your time. There were two topics that I didn't discuss the way that I wanted to when I was there. The first one was about jobs. We said that when you graduate, you really shouldn't look into jumping directly into a startup. First, a caveat: if you have an absolutely amazing idea with a problem and a pain that it can solve, you should do it. We're not saying that. But that's only in that rare instance, if you have the absolutely great idea and the problem and the pain. But if you are everyone else, then your objective should be to do something different. It should be to either find a growing company, it could be very large but still growing, with a mentor, or find a startup that is de-risking itself appropriately. In those two, if you're entrepreneurial truly, you will find a space for you to grow and develop in such a way where you can lead your own company in the future and avoid a lot of pitfalls because you will have experienced them from someone else. From someone that grew a startup in front of you that where you were a part of the team, or someone in a very large company where you had to endure that growing company with a mentor that taught you and managed you. So that's the job recommendation. The other one was the regulation. At a time where you see Mark Zuckerberg go in front of Congress and say, yes, I want regulation, you have to ask yourself what your opinion should be about this. And I would say my 2 cents on the subject is this. Over-regulation or uncontrolled regulation can truly hinder innovation. I'll give you an example, and I'll use Facebook. So social media really had a lot of starts in the late 90s, but a true start to it was MySpace. And Facebook came quickly after MySpace, when MySpace had 50 million users. But since MySpace was in a growing market that they had created, so it was a new growing market, not a large market that's stagnant, Facebook had the opportunity of going to every new user that was joining a social media platform and say, here's MySpace and here's me. And in that scenario where you're comparing two items, you don't have to be a lot better. You don't have to use the goodness factor of 3 or 10 times or more better. You just have to be a little bit better because there are new users joining and they're having to choose between two. If one is slightly better, they'll choose that one. Today, you have Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. MySpace is still around, I believe, but there are dozens of other choices. And the 2 billion approximately user market on the internet, most of them have already made choices as to what is their social media platform. And so when a new entrant into this market that's filled with strong incumbents comes in, they have to be 10 times better because first, the users have already made a selection and they believe they have a sunk cost fallacy in some way, shape, or form that they spent time, effort, why should I switch? So and their product, they might like their product. The product has evolved. So you have to be 10 times better to convert them. If we over-regulate, if we regulate in such a way where the large organizations are more than willing to pay the cost of regulation today, know that we would be risking any new innovation from coming in, because that new innovation not only has to be 10 times better, they might have to be 20 or 30 times better because they have to raise enough money and convince enough people that they can survive or pay for that regulation to be put upon them as well. So I would say before you call your representative, think very carefully about what type of regulation we want around social media and technology because we want to maximize innovation. It was an absolute pleasure to meet all of you, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you succeed and be able to say that one day I was in the same classroom with them. Take care.